and welcome to Raw Babes 101. Woo! I am your host, Kristen, and
Titty.
You guys, we have two incredible special guests for this episode, and we are freaking pumped to share with these. These
fucking queens.
These queens. We have Miss
queen.
Astara.
Hello.
And Miss Rae
Sol.
Sunshine.
Rae Sol.
Yeah,
Rae Sol.
Hey,
Yeah.
she was saying a ray of sunshine. She had
I was going to say sunshine.
Yeah,
I
did
know
you know?
it's Rae Sol.
No.
I saw it in the email.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
She is a Virgo. She pays attention.
I do pay attention.
Sorry
Okay.
to steal your thunder.
No, there's no thunder can be stolen. We
No,
share
there's
it.
always when there's a pair, there's someone that makes up for the other one, and like
That's true.
right, vice versa.
You're making me laugh.
She does
Yes.
that
Okay.
for me.
It's
Okay.
this side of the table and that side of the table.
Oh my god, we're the better side of the table though.
I was just gonna
letting
fucking
you
say
know.
that. Okay.
Oh.
Let them think what they want.
Okay, so these beautiful beings that we have joining us on this magical Friday night
It's Friday.
have
It's Friday.
they are like the most incredible healers and light workers and all the things. Like, you guys are incredible. Tiffany and I had an incredible day full of healing with you two, and it just like it blasted me out of this universe. And my dream that I even had that night that I shared with you, I was like, holy crap. So I'm not going to share too much about what they do because I would like you guys to talk about that.
Well, yeah, and there's a big part. We kind of talked about this in one of our other podcasts, how important it is. What happens in the circle stays in the fucking circle.
Oh,
And you really need
Good
to
one.
experience this type of work because
Healing.
it is very sacred.
Mm.
It's a very sacred practice, and it's meant to be experienced. But still, please share all the things, obviously. But let's quickly start. I want them to share with us and our audience who the fuck you are.
On that note, Rae, I'll let you start.
Okay, well, I'm Astara's sister.
Birth sister.
Birth sister. And I don't even know what to say. Basically, Astara has helped me along my journey of unfolding and rebirthing over the years, and that was for me a big part of claiming my name, Rae Sol, which is not my birth name, as like a new beginning for myself and stepping into all of the wholeness of who I am. As I shared just before we started, I had a lot of feeling of like hiding who I truly am through my whole life, and so in the last like I don't know 3-ish, whatever, time is nothing but years, I've understood that I was kind of in a closet in a way, in a cocoon, and so it was like breaking free from that. And
You
that
came
was
out of the spiritual closet.
I really did. And I actually had these like past life regressions of being a person who was in the closet about their sexuality, and then having to feel that kind of, self shame,
So you broke through the karma.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, sister! I love that.
Fucking
Oh,
right.
that's huge.
Yeah. And so, anyways, more about me. I'm an artist.
Yes.
I have had shamanic training, Reiki training. I love
You're
nature.
Reiki master.
Yes, thank you. I'm a Reiki master. I'm Wiccan. We're both Wiccan.
What's
Red
Wiccan?
Cord High Priestesses. Wiccan is an earth-based worship. So literally appreciating nature, eating food from the earth, loving the sun.
I'm a fucking Wiccan.
Exactly.
I'm a fucking Wiccan.
Basically, if you're a witch, you're a Wiccan, okay?
Yeah.
And so that's really just, any witch is a Wiccan, and we can go into chatting about that, because I love to talk about that subject, but I'm going to let Rae finish. But yes, you're a witch, you're a Wiccan, you're a witch, you're a Wiccan.
Yes.
We can wear black pointy hats and ride brooms if we want, or...
We'd be hung at the fucking stake, though, a few hundred years ago.
and we probably met there.
Yeah.
We're probably all hanging there being like,
Yeah.
bye, Felicia.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And see you on the other side.
Totally, and that was also part of probably some
It
past
was, for
life.
sure.
Oh my
of
God.
why
Absolutely.
even all of you guys listening may not share a lot of your spiritual practice,
That's
which we're going to get into this
We will get into
conversation
this.
Yes.
It's a good one.
after your guys' introduction. on helping people find the community and the people to make it
Yes.
normal and like
Yes.
talk about it. And
Because it is normal.
it is normal.
It is normal.
100%.
Yes. And like you kind of normalize being in your spiritual closet until you
Yeah.
take action. And then it's like kind of when you get out of a bad breakup and you're like, what the fuck was I doing
Yeah.
Yes.
with that thing, that person, the whatever, the job? And then you're like, why was I hiding this part of myself to myself? You know?
Yeah.
No
a fear
more.
of what? And
No.
who?
Yeah.
But we're in the day and age where we're like really coming to surface about the meaning of
Yes.
things rather than taking on old thoughts and patterns and what was
Yeah.
keeping us small and hidden.
Yes.
So we are this. I mean, we can talk more about that after. But so you're an artist,
I'm an artist.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's a
you're a
creator,
creative.
a master creator.
and I'm a creator. I'm a creative also. So
Big time.
I fucking feel you, girl. Yes. Oh yeah. I'm like
I know.
all the feels.
I'm getting old.
Are we undulating over here?
Fuck you, these words.
I know.
Yes.
This
I work for corporate companies, so I have all the words.
These are the brains of the operation.
I love it.
Brains of the operation.
Yeah. So you've been coming out spiritually, and how are you finding this new person and who you are? Like, how are you showing up now? Like, because you guys sound like you're up to a lot of things, and not that everything's happens all at once, but it's definitely being manifested. It's definitely being put out there.
Yes.
I can feel the energy. You
Yes.
guys are on a roll.
Yeah, you know, it feels great, and yet, like all things that come and go in waves in this spiral of life, I still have resistance, you know, to things. Like, so we were just talking in the car, we're doing all these things, and I can feel, oh, okay,
And
yeah,
I could
sure.
feel her
Okay,
resistance
yes,
too.
okay.
I kept silent. I didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
But it's the saying yes and like actually allowing yourself to be in that and like not make yourself wrong for it, you know? So that's the
the
like
ebb and flow, right?
yeah, it is. And it's the balance. And so being less in the far swinging pendulum black white, oh, I'm either going to be so good and saying yes to everything and everything's great, or no, I can't do anything and I'm just got to be in my lane and so that's where I'm at. It's just like being like, okay, yes, and I'm breathe but overall it feels great because I can laugh at myself. I can, you know, open my heart to people and just
I got a cool
bask
thing.
in it.
If you did not have these blockages in your way of the imbalance, who would you be? Step into that realm.
You're gonna make me cry.
Girl, it's fucking deep, and that's
Yeah.
what we do here. We
Hit the
talk about
nerve.
the deep shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's where I think it's really important that we operate from.
Yeah.
Because all the other shit is fluff, and it's all subconscious beliefs that are just total fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not. Who
No,
you
you're
are.
right. And
Yeah.
actually, like a lot of what I've been listening to is the Course in Miracles, the original text. I'm not a reader, so I like to listen.
Me too.
Oh my God. I'm like, what's happening right now?
I
Yeah.
think we
They
just did
found
footsies
them.
at
We
the
did.
table too.
We're like much of the same.
I know, it's a mirror.
It is a mirror.
It's
Yeah.
not
Beautiful.
We're
Yeah.
just watching.
So Tiffany's the same. She 100% is
Audio.
audio.
I've written so many books now because of that.
Yes,
and I'm
same with
like,
her.
yes. So now I feel like this wealth of knowledge. I don't
Yeah.
feel stupid anymore. Even though that it was such a
Yeah,
It's just an old belief.
totally. It was
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
old belief that I
That
grew
is
up with. I thought it was
Programming, we do
stupid.
not like it.
Yeah, no, and I thought I was lazy, so there you go.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And sometimes she is
Yeah.
lazy. but so am I because of my Taurus moon.
Yeah.
So here we go talking about social media.
Yeah. Well, lazy, and sometimes we're lazy because we just have that bit of a charge between you
Yeah,
and that
that's
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not lazy. It's just this we don't want to feel it. We don't want to work through it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I
No.
agree.
I think it is important to reflect a bit on it,
Yeah.
but we're not fucking good at everything. And
Yeah,
totally.
delegate the shit out of what you're up to so much.
Absolutely.
Don't even start with
Yeah.
me. Don't even start with me.
We're laughing fits.
Oh my god, I love you.
Okay, so hold on one second here. we definitely need to back the truck up and talk about this
okay. I was like,
Yes.
great. Keep talking, lady.
beautiful queen and introduce yourself. And another thing, please introduce your business.
Oh, yes. Don't worry. I was going to do that.
Good. We'll be back to you.
We'll be
girl.
back
yeah,
to
no
you
worries.
later.
Beautiful share.
Thank you.
Beautiful share.
Thank you.
And we want more of that.
Yeah,
But now we
absolutely.
want you, queen. Let's go.
Okay,
Crack
it's
her
easy
open.
for me because I've been doing this for a long time, so we don't need to crack me open. You guys will be like, okay, shut up. All right. Okay, so I am Astara, and I am the birth sister of Rae Sol. Together, we are Sacred Earth Sun.
Yay!
We are doing workshops together. But before I talk just a little bit about that, I have been doing one-on-one healing work with people and running my own workshops under another business name that I'm not going to mention because I am
No longer
killing her softly.
Got it.
Killing me softly, right? With his song, telling my whole life. With his words. Yes!
Okay. And so when I proposed the idea to do this with her, I was already doing this for a long time. Meditation circles. I am a Reiki master, so, teaching Reiki to people, any type of workshop to share out of my home.
Okay.
And what I was doing and what I do, mostly channeling sessions for people and energy work, okay?
Beautiful.
So when I channeled this idea of Sacred Earth Sun with Rae last spring, it was a little bit of a crapshoot because she was in that spiritual closet still. She was working through it, but what she wasn't was out there and visible to the world, right?
Totally.
So this was a way for her to now take all of her beautiful talents and strengths and things she'd been cultivating for years. Again, shaman, Reiki master. She is like an animal whisperer. Like
So cool.
she connects with animals in a very beautiful way. And melding it with what I had been doing, leading, teaching, guiding, as she said, death, rebirth, life cycle, helping people on their journey to step into that empowerment, to let go of the conditioning that
We're the
keeps.
cleanup crew.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a Blu-ray is. And I'm a Blu-ray. I came here to help pave the way to clean stuff up. And we're the way showers. We are the way showers.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that, we have both delved into, Rae mentioned Wiccan. Being Wiccan is essentially, it's the shamanic practice of earth-based worship without following an indigenous cultural belief system. So it's
Love
like,
it.
Yeah.
So
know,
Yeah.
Viking, Celtic,
Yeah. It
British,
doesn't have to be one way.
Scottish.
No.
But you can also be Costa Rican, you can be Lebanese, you can be Turkish and be Wiccan. The point is we don't follow a medicine wheel that takes away from or appropriates any cultural belief. We literally worship the earth. And that's for anybody, male or female, non-binary, asexual. It doesn't matter what you identify as. You can be Wiccan. And we love to teach people that a Wiccan is a beautiful, bodacious goddess in a crop top wearing yoga pants with her hair all didded. That's still a Wiccan. And then maybe you see a Wiccan wearing all black with like an upside down cross. You know what I mean? Or maybe you see this vibrant hair color queen with 2 top knots, doing her workout. That's also a Wiccan. So we like to debunk. First of all, we like to debunk what shamanism is.
Cool.
And we like to debunk Wiccanism and say everybody already is it, so just claim it. And that's a lot of what Sacred Earth Sun is about. We are here to help people claim who they are, to take up space in the world and shine that out there and be okay with coming out of the spiritual closet is claiming yourself.
That's right.
When Rae Sol found her new sound, Rae Sol, when I found my new sound, Astara, it's claiming the vibration of that inner oversoul presence and shining that out there, right? So what we do is workshops where we talk about that. We like to combine, because the sound baths, that's a new one for us. But what we were doing is combining art. So we make clay pieces and we do activation. So we get people in the earth, connecting to the earth mother, working with past lives where their ancient traditions were creating, and that was a spiritual process. Creating your own relics, your own altar pieces,
Portals.
worshiping the divine, worshiping the sun, worshiping the earth, and then guiding people in meditations and activations. Where we came face to face with each other was just a couple of weeks ago in the sound bath. That was the first time we did that in a group.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
It was exactly what we were looking for too.
Oh.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's
we
good
literally
medicine.
manifested this shit.
Great. I love
Yes.
it.
So then
I love it.
I know.
I love
I
it.
was like,
It's so cool.
We're
It's
best
so
friends.
We are. We
It's
are
so cool.
literally. We are officially a foursome.
Totally. So let's go back again.
Okay.
So friends of mine, Casey, ended
Yes.
up seeing you for
Yes.
her own healing, which I won't go too far into. 'Cause
But
it's not
we've
my
become
space to
very
say.
close. So
Totally.
like
Yeah.
love her like a sister. So it
Totally.
makes sense that you two know each other.
Exactly. So then I was introduced to you under your other name.
Yes.
And I had booked a session. And this was approximately 2 years ago.
Yeah, approximately 2 years.
So this would have been after I had left a huge
Yes.
chapter of my life. So I was leaning into my healing on the path. Long story short, all of a sudden everything happened in the world, and it was just like everything was changing. It just wasn't meant to be. It
Nope.
wasn't aligning at that
it
time.
wasn't.
And then funny enough,
but now you know why.
we know
Yes.
why. Funny enough, we go to our friend's house.
Which is like around the corner from
It
your
is
house.
around
Yes.
the corner.
Literally.
And so
It's
another
around the
friend,
corner.
so Chelsea, which is an amazing friend, and so Christy's sister, she's been working with you,
Yes, she
and
has
you
for
guys have
years.
been super close.
Yes.
So then that's the connection. So now it's like, not only did I not have to go to Vancouver, I just had to walk down the street and
Roll down the
roll down the street, and then there you are. So it's like the universe will bring the
For
people.
sure. The universe will
that you-
guarantee you that you
100%.
cannot avoid it.
You can't. It's like, here you go. Here's the apple.
Yeah.
Eat the fucking apple.
Eat the apple.
I fucking
Yeah.
eat the apple.
Question. Or not question, whatever. We say what we want. We haven't talked too much about shamanism
Yes.
on the podcast. Can
Okay.
you explain a little bit about what that is
Of
for
course.
our listeners? Because we have a lot of like new practicing
Yes.
listeners.
Yeah.
And a lot of our listeners are working through their own traumas and their own
Right.
shit, and they're getting to a point. Well, the feedback that I've been getting is like a lot of it's like, do we have to work through all of this trauma? Can we just be and learn and move forward, acknowledging this feeling, sitting with it, whatever's making you uncomfortable, la la la.
Right.
But anyways, shamanism.
Sure. I'll go first and then I'll let you fill in the blanks because I likely will leave something out.
Okay.
And she also has a very different way of explaining things, which is great. Okay.
Perfect.
So, shamanism essentially is that earth-based practice that we spoke about. So, using the elements, all of the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and ether, okay? Bringing in the alchemy, the balance, bringing in the directions, north, south, east, west, and the center. Depending on what lineage or cultural tradition is being followed, there might be other elements added in. But why we bring up being Wiccan or being a witch, I mean, whatever. Witch seems super trendy, so I tend to stay away from that. But people understand that. But there's a lot of pretenses attached to that. That's a whole nother
There's a
podcast.
fucking pretense to everything.
I know. I'm
these
like,
days.
that's a
Yeah.
whole other
Yeah.
podcast.
You can't get away with saying shit.
right? You can't.
And say what
You
we
can't.
want.
You can't. But
just
where the Wiccanism comes in is that then that is a shamanic practice, and often people don't identify those two together. We think shaman. We think traveling to Peru or
I was just
Costa
gonna say
Rica
that.
and doing ayahuasca and or San Pedro or iboga or I can't remember what the frog medicine one is called.
Oh.
But and like that is shamanism.
Cambo.
Yes. And all the power and all the respect and all the honor to that. However, that is of those places on the earth. That is of those peoples and those lineages. That is for people to travel there and experience. If you are here, do you guys tell your listeners where you are? Do they know where you are? Like
Yeah.
what
Where
province? Like
Yeah.
in Maple Ridge? Like
Yeah. Well,
If
you
you
just
were-
told them now anyway, so hey, here we are.
I outed you. If you are in
Sorry.
Oh.
Giving my dog meds. Sorry.
Canada, if you are in North America,
Hold on.
you're gonna
Hang
stop.
tight.
Oh yeah, okay, great. She
Ba, ba,
paused.
ba.
Was it not on
Dang.
airplane mode?
Yeah, it is.
It is, but it'll
It's
still
because-
go in because it's an alert for her dog, and
Yeah.
that dog needs the meds.
Sorry.
Hey guys, this is what happens.
This is real life,
Real
you guys.
life.
This is what really happens when you're a shaman, Wiccan, goddess, healer.
Oh my gosh. So when I actually met Astara and Rae at the circle after we were done, it was just like, what? Oh my gosh, I love you guys. It was just like, it was just done. It was
like, here we are.
It's like we were
Nail it in. Nail in that coffin,
nail
girl.
in the coffin, and it was just done. You're just like, what? You're like, there's Leo in your chart.
Yeah.
You're like, there's
I was
this.
like, I know
You're
there's
like,
Leo.
I know who you are.
I know you have Leo.
So we're back on.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption. My alarm went off because my dog needs her medication.
Very important.
That's been done though, so it's already been taken care of. Bon,
Great.
continue.
So
Shaman.
Wiccan, being Wiccan or Wiccanism, is that connection to shamanic practice without having to be connected to a traditional cultural place, lineage, etc.
Medicine.
So medicine. So we don't follow a medicine wheel. Like if you are working in many different other shamanic practices or lineages, you'll work with a specific medicine wheel. We don't. We just work with the directions. We
And
work with
energy.
the elements and energy. We work with the Earth Mother.
I love that.
The cycles. We're working with portals, the moon, the sun, the
Oh,
stars.
were you guys rebellious growing up?
I was.
No.
I was.
So she's the bad example. She's like,
I'm the
Don't
leader.
perpetuate her narrative.
Yeah, let's not perpetuate the karmic narrative that I have been blasting through. No, I'm just
I was just kidding.
I know. We all are. But really,
We're like
don't.
the same.
I'm like, just don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really broad. So this is what we like to do when we talk about shamanism and we talk about Wiccanism. It's whatever it needs to be for each person. That's why I said if you have a bright, vivid color of hair and you have beautiful top knots and you have a dog and you do amazing workouts, you can call yourself Shaman Wiccan. Because why? Because every day you pay attention to the air that you're breathing. You pay attention to the trees and plants around you. You can be Lululemon, bodacious, heralded in curls, beautiful makeup, full face makeup, and be a Wiccan or a shaman because you use your crystals, because you lit a candle. Like, get broad, because the world that is full of labels and that conditioning that you keep mentioning to limit us and keep us small and disempower us wants us to believe, because I'm not this, I cannot be that. Because I do not know this, I cannot be that. Because I've never read this, I cannot be that. Because I've never heard this. No, claim it. Do you feel a tie to animals or the earth in any way? Great, claim it. You're a witch. Claim it. You're a shaman. Have you ever had a drum before? No, you don't need to. Have you ever shook a rattle before? No, you don't need to. Have you traveled to Peru? No. Do you know what ayahuasca is? No. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I love is because like I've been wanting a drum. I was sharing with you guys that because you brought out your drum.
Yes,
and I was
I
like, I just ordered my drum from a shaman, which was like, it was important to me. It was like,
And it's
Very
handmade.
yeah,
Very powerful.
handmade, absolutely. And now I thought it was important to go into my lineage and start, doing my own research, learning, and this is what came to me.
Okay.
There are tribes, hundreds of different tribes in one city.
There are.
So there's going to be different sounds that each tribe's going to.
Absolutely.
If you're familiar with this, you'll actually be able to tell which tribe they're from
Yes.
if you're paying
Yes.
attention. But what it's really come down to is that I'm just going to sing from my heart.
Yeah.
And it's not going to it doesn't have to look or sound
No,
like
100%.
anything in particular.
100%.
Of course I'm allowed to use a drum. Anybody should be able to use a drum. This is a really powerful way to really ignite that energy inside of us, and with that beautiful sound that comes from our voice box or the energy collective. Like,
sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but I do
don't
want to
be.
say, because that is your oversoul presence.
Yes.
The sound that you make, that heart that you're talking about, that is your soul coming down into you, and you are expressing it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
So each human being is going to have their own unique sound. It's not the same.
It's like a fingerprint.
And we need
That's our
all
blueprints.
those fingerprints, all those
Yes.
blueprints, and all those sounds.
Yeah.
And for you, it's beautiful that you can identify your ancestors and the lineage you come from. It's important to also say, each of us does, because wherever we come from, we are indigenous. So we are Russian, Ukrainian, and our Russian ancestors are indigenous from their land. They are shamans. We're near Siberia, and that is our sound. But we're here. We live here. We don't know them. We don't know their sound.
Yeah.
But when we speak, when we chant, when we sing, when we drum, we are channeling that. And so it doesn't matter if
It's
we
all
know
same
who they are.
source.
It is.
Why
Yeah.
the fuck
all
does it matter?
one. We are all
That's exactly
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Or a light spark. Of
you're
each other.
right to have an understanding of, and you went down that path, but then to then bring it back to, it's like you're tying into, you're pulling back what you need, but then being like, but this is actually me.
Yeah. That's like a
And that's
lot
where we
of,
want people to
Yeah.
be.
Yes. Just
and
you.
that's where we're at, you know, and without getting too much into like the criticism of it all, but in the way that it's gonna make us open up, there is a spark of light in every single one of us. We have something to bring to the fucking table.
That's exactly.
And that's
Period.
the whole point.
And
That's
it
the whole
is-
point of this.
And all of it is
the
valuable.
whole point of what you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does not. There is no double signature. It's a fingerprint. We all have our own, and our journey is to figure out what that looks like and what you resonate with, and then that'll soon your purpose comes to fruition.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
It will shine out of your soul.
Yeah.
And you know what? The souls are already there waiting for you.
Yes.
The souls have already signed up for you.
Yes.
To be healed by you, to be led by you, to just sit with you in your frequency. And that is it. Your job is
I mean,
done.
hey,
Yeah.
I say,
effortless.
blessed be.
Yes.
Blessed be.
Let it be.
Yeah, right?
Well, may it be. Was
Blessed
it may it
be.
be or blessed be?
Blessed be.
Was it blessed be? No, wait.
So be it.
So be it.
So
Thank
be
you.
it.
And blessed be.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
And
so it is.
Yes,
That's what
that's
it was.
Stevie. I got,
That's what it
Stevie
was.
is always, and so it is.
Yeah.
We really went full circle with that, girl. I love that. Bring every way to say it in.
the
Look what you just
Yeah,
did.
girl.
Yeah.
That's
And
hilarious.
always use your
Write that shit down.
discernment, and that's the biggest key is use your discernment for what feels right for
I
you.
agree.
With all of our conversations.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So can we just say then, since we had this beautiful conversation about being Wiccan and shaman, being a shaman, what that means, what it doesn't mean, it can mean anything. We brought in the elements, so we have our feather, we have our fire, we have our water, we have our earth, we have our spirit, because I mean, we've got our army of spirit guides here, it's always here. But do you mind if we all join hands and then we're just gonna
absolutely not.
close the circle and teach people how to create that sacred space, bringing in the elements, and just showing them. It's like a way of doing it. It's not the only way. There's billions of ways, but they might want to use it and say, okay, when I pull my cards out, I want to create that sacred space.
I love
when
it.
I have my crystals, I want to create that sacred space. Are you able to, with your microphones, grab
We
hands?
can put them down.
Yeah.
You can put them down?
Okay, so you're saying this is going to be a practice of closing a circle?
To create the sacred
Oh,
space.
to
So
create
you
this
create
creating
the
it.
By
circle
closing.
of a space, the magic, where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
The
a
fifth
protection,
And higher.
and frequency,
The womb
like
space.
generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, I love
if
that.
you were going into meditation, you'd close your circle, and when you're done, we'll open it. So at the end, we'll open it, just like we
You're
did
saying
at
it
the sound bath.
backwards.
No, we need to close the space to keep
closing.
it
If you
protected.
think of like
Interesting.
folding up a blanket over someone, you're
Yeah.
closing them in it,
Yeah.
and then when they get out, you open it.
you open it.
Oh,
So it's like that.
interesting.
It's and that's how you're going to remember, because it
Yes.
is the opposite of what logic is.
Yeah, what we're used to remembering.
Exactly.
What we
It's just
know.
the circle jerk.
That's
And see,
right.
this girl has to she's right though.
Yes.
It's just the circle jerk. Yes. So we're
Okay.
gonna teach y'all and your
Good.
followers. Okay. So we'll
Okay,
just
we're
hold
gonna do
hands
this.
because we just want to create the circle. Okay. And Ray and I will sing the song, and then we can send for you to send to your watchers, listeners, if they want the words. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can put it on
we'll put
in
it
your
on our
description.
channel right here.
Perfect. Would love that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and everybody listening, we'd like you to also
Yes. Close your
Follow along,
eyes.
close your eyes.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Just
Sway in
not
the
when you're
wind.
driving.
Yeah, not when you're driving. Okay. I call on the power of the thunder beings. I call on the power of the earth. I call on the power of the east and west. I call on the power of the north and south. Behold, the time has come. The time has come to unite as one. Behold, the time has come to encircle the earth with our love. Okay. And that's how you can create a sacred space. You can also call in the directions, which we can do another time when we come to visit with you guys, because we should
Every
be
weekend.
visiting all the time.
Definitely.
We have lots of plans.
We just want
shit.
to teach people as many ways as possible
Wow.
what resonates for them. You would also smudge and clear your space.
Yeah.
You could play your drum, just sing or no song.
I have a big
There's
one like
so
this. A big one.
chime,
Fucking
play
those are
bowls,
great.
but you can
Yeah.
also sing the song to
I like
bring.
that
Who wrote
all-
this? Who wrote it?
It's
It's
a
a Wiccan
traditional song.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It really
passed on.
resonated with me, by
Yeah.
the way. My eyes were
I know.
closed and I was
could
like,
feel. I could
yeah.
actually feel you two feeling it and the power of the
Remembering.
four of us.
Yes.
yes, I felt the power of the four of us.
Yes.
See, this
And I
is
was
the
thinking-
beauty of the circles, and this is something that we all got in the works between Kristen and I, between you guys. But the whole point of the circles is to unite that energy and really
Yes.
fucking manifest.
Yeah.
That is a time
Absolutely.
to really put it out there
Absolutely.
and amplify what you want and what you desire in your life or what is meant to be. So
See?
This is the best.
Right? It is the best.
This is
It is the
the
best.
best.
It is the best, the best, the best.
It feels so, I feel so connected to
Yeah.
you guys. And it's
Me
like,
too.
we've literally in one circle.
One big circle jerk.
One circle.
This is only our second time being
Meeting.
literally with each other.
Well, we've
In
been
this
we've been
lifetime.
together
In this
before.
lifetime.
Yes.
100%.
Our
this
souls,
lifetime.
no, when we're sleeping, our souls are like zing,
dancing
zing, zing,
in the
zing.
ether.
We're like, hey,
They
buddy.
were already working this out. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah,
It's
is
so cool.
It's
So
very,
cool.
very
Okay,
cool.
I just wanted to say a couple of other
Yes,
things
please.
about
We're ready.
shamanic
Great.
practice.
Here you go.
Yeah, fill the
Because
gaps.
Oh yeah, talk about. I mean, are you gonna talk about journeying or?
Yes,
Yes. A
yeah.
good thing. I knew she would.
So everything Astara said, yes, true,
Yes.
100%.
Right.
When you have had shamanic teachings, so you studied with a shaman of any whatever culture, what you will do when you're treating someone or you're practicing, you're going to go into an altered state. So even though being a shaman is really about alchemizing energy, when you're doing a practice, like if I was going to do a soul, it's
Okay.
not regression.
What you're trying to say is when you're a shamanic practitioner.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank
so
you.
anything can fall into that.
exactly. So if I was doing something where I was like doing an extraction or some sort of ceremony type of treatment on you, it is best to have training. You go into an altered state and it's called a journey. And so the beauty of shamanic healing is that you can actually lay there and have all of this healing done in the psycho-spiritual world, which is not in this 3D world. And so you were saying,
Yes.
people are like, hey, do I have to really like work through this stuff? Well, you guys know learning Reiki happens in the subconscious and the unconscious layers of your being. This happens in the psycho-spiritual world, which is literally that oversoul, all of your karmic.
The Akashic. It happens
Akashic.
in the Akashic. yeah.
Exactly. And so it's actually
Barbados? Would you
the
say
Bermuda Triangle.
Bardos.
Bardos?
She thought she was being the bitch.
She
thought
did
you were
give me that
joking.
funny look. She's like,
The Bermuda Triangle.
She's like, you're wrong.
I don't know.
I thought we were riffing.
Yeah,
actually.
I thought you guys were riffing too. I thought you were being the spiritual comedian that you
Yes,
were.
Well, she
I
is.
am.
That's your
Absolutely.
name, Tiffany.
I'm a spiritual comedian?
Yes.
Is that it? Okay.
I
Let's
keep
go there.
saying there
'Cause I
needs
think
to be
it's pretty
spiritual comedy, so let's do it.
Tiffany.
Right?
Because you
Yes,
know what?
force
This
for
girl,
sure.
I keep being like Tiffany, like she's leaving out these really incredible key pieces of this divine soul. And it's I'm questioning her like, Tiffany, in this write-up, it says nothing about these incredible gifts and this beautiful soul that you are, about the spirituality and like the spiritual side. And I'm just like, give me some, because it's like I just want her to like just unleash.
That was
I can
Gollum.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I can just like, because you're so I don't even like to use the word gifted. so tapped in, and it's like not really out there on
So spiritual
any
comedian.
platforms.
No, it's
So
not,
spiritual
but it
comedian.
is a very like new thing, and when you're running a business, it's very hard to have your eyes set on multiple things.
Of course.
So currently, I am just focused on creating that foundation for my health and fitness business. But I know that once we break through this barrier, it's a big part of my past and not
like
being good enough and like not giving myself credit and like who I am. So that is
It's
something.
the spiritual closet
It
that
is.
Ray was talking about. You just have a different. You have a different story of what that looked like.
Identifying as such and such, where I haven't, and people see it in me before I actually.
Of course.
Since I met Tiffany, I was like,
of course.
you are a complete spiritual, like everything about her is just so unique and so cool, so different.
I love the way you talk about me.
Yeah, it's beautiful to hear somebody
So cute.
It's the
speak from the heart.
My
Yes.
heart.
Her higher self is speaking what she feels of your higher self. And because of the duality that we live in, it can be harder for us to be in that space, but it helps when we have somebody that we, with our heart, see them in their heart, so you can trust and believe
100%.
what her heart is saying to you.
Totally.
Totally.
Because I'm
It's
just like, I
very
scratch my head, I'm like, Tiff,
Yeah, I
there's so
agree.
much. There's so much there for...
You're such a doll. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome. Didn't mean to call
No,
you
no.
out, but I didn't call you out.
You
Just,
needed to
it's
call
the
her.
truth.
It's
yeah,
great.
It's the
Dude,
truth.
we're good with that.
Yeah, right? This
It's
is what
not
we're doing here.
offensive.
So what I
magical.
wanted to say, to add to what Ray is saying, is that yes, if somebody is a shamanic practitioner, they go into an altered state, you journey, and you work on clients in non-ordinary reality, and we travel to different dimensions. Okay, great. But my point, which does marry exactly with yours, is that is somebody who's a shamanic practitioner, but you can be, and many, many, many are, who are the new way showers, our 5D people that are rising higher and higher, are shamans, but they don't have to be a shamanic practitioner.
No.
And that's the biggest piece that when I'm teaching about Wiccanism and shamanism is so many people say, well, you can't call yourself a shaman because you're not from the jungles of Costa Rica or you're not from Peru. But what I'm saying is, well, no, you aren't a shaman from Peru or Costa Rica, but you are still a shaman because you worship the earth, even if it's not just, but I'm going to use that word, just working with crystals. Yeah, that is a shaman. A shaman can be somebody who sings because their song heals. Like, so part of what Spirit has been pushing beyond all that we do with Sacred Earth Sun, beyond what I've been doing on one-on-one sessions, is helping people understand, to redefine in a new way, because now that we are in the age of Aquarian, right, we have embarked on this 5D awakening that started in 2012 but really pushed through in December of 2020, is we have to do it differently. So the word shaman, as we think it is, or the word Wiccan or healer or guide or goddess or whatever the hell tarot reader or crystal grid quantifier, I don't know, it's like, what does it mean for you? And that's all that matters. Because
that's right.
Patriarchy,
I love that.
colonization, capitalism has put people in such a powerless state to say, if they don't know what this symbol is and they can't define it and they can't tell you but they like it, they're not allowed to use it. Use it. What does it mean for you? Shaman is just another word that means somebody who is connected. And that's what I like to teach people. And if somebody wants to claim that, claim it. If you've never even gone for a shamanic session, if you cannot define what shamanism is, and you might not ever be a shamanic practitioner, those are all different things.
It's definitely what's the word? You're just not. I had it in my head. I had a brain fuck. Sorry.
Oh my
brain
god. Ooh. It's okay. I'll keep talking.
Non-traditional ways.
Right?
Yes.
But also because
Yeah.
what is a tradition? It's
Yeah.
just something that a bunch of people, a collective, agreed upon.
Yes.
So what we're saying, the divine wants, is we have to find our own way now.
Yeah.
Because that, unfortunately, traditions is very yang. It's patriarchy. create new traditions that are just as powerful, coming from a place of creator. Because the problem is all that stuff has been limiting people to not create. You are a creator. You are a creator. I am a creator. She's a creator. We all create in a different way.
Yes.
But it's all from the same place, which is
Yes.
source.
That's right.
And it's from
Yeah.
source.
It's
and from
from
your
source.
heart and
Yes.
from you. And there's no right or wrong.
That is exactly.
100%.
And we are meant to, in this new earth timeline that we're all seating in, glean from all the things in all the places and make it our own. That is what we are supposed to do. That is what the divine wants.
100%.
It's funny. Kristen just sent me a podcast or discussion.
Yeah, it was a
I don't know
podcast.
who these two girls were. Who are they?
Actually, it's Caitlin, Diana. I don't
You
know.
really know names. I'll be
I
like,
know.
first of all, I'll call it out. I never listen to podcasts and
Yeah,
I never
I
watch
don't-
anything.
And I don't
Okay.
either
I'm
typically,
bad.
but it was really
You
powerful.
seem to know. I'm like,
Okay, well, the
okay.
discussion was that a lot of practitioners are freaking out right now because we're in a new age and all practices have to be
Crumbled.
We are in the
Yeah.
it's the
Done.
death
everything
of-
that they've known and learned and got
It's the dark side
certified
of the
for have
You
to
got
be
it for the world.
relearned.
Well, and that's the
Well-
problem with the certification is it's taking
Oh, this is a
something
good
from
one. I
the
could- you'll never get
multiverse
me to shut up.
or the multi-dimensional ethers, and you're putting it through a head and making it 3D, and then it creates an institution regardless if you're non-traditional spirituality is an institution.
Yes.
So it's like it gets very conceptual,
It
but we
really
all
does.
feel it in our body, in our hearts, when you get to that space where you're like, whoa, even doing a meditation is a way.
Capitalistic,
Yes.
patriarchal.
Yes.
How? What do you mean?
Because
Explain.
if you follow, if anything, sorry, I'm interrupting, you can interrupt me back. If you follow anything as a rule, it's
Yeah.
now capitalism,
Oh,
So the
patriarchy.
essence of what you're talking
Okay.
about is exactly what we're saying. We're just
Okay.
saying it in different words.
yeah,
But like people get
So
very
attached.
stuck on their own self-identification.
Like a
of-
religion.
yes.
Yeah, like anything. Like I am. What do you call your profession? Like what do you call yourself? What you do?
health and fitness coach.
Okay, so like even I am a health and fitness coach.
It's just the best way to describe it.
Right, but
Yeah.
people are attached to that. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
But that is how they identify. So anything that causes somebody to identify. But here's the thing. The thing is, 2 months ago, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, you're going to have to shut me up. Even I can say
Come to
that.
the right
I
place.
haven't been in front of people in a long time, meaning just like even clients, like consistently. And this is them talking. We just had the fall of the false prophet guru. Okay, that happened within the past 2 months. Ascension, it has fallen. So all these, what did she refer to them as? Practitioners, they're freaking out because without realizing it, they were subscribing, subconscious or conscious,
Totally
to
shit.
the
Yes.
identification of the heroic tradition of medicine, which
my
is they
God.
are the guru. See, I don't do that. Homie, don't play that.
That's why we're together, bitches.
Yeah. Homie
Yeah.
says
This is the whole
you
thing.
are your own healer. Let me
Yes.
guide you in the remembering
Yeah.
and the death, birth, life cycle, and what you're
just gonna say
experiencing. The
cycle.
entire world is in the dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
And so that's the death cycle, bitch. So these people are
Wow.
losing it because the way they self-identify, and this is no shame or guilt. This is
No.
just
Learn.
observation.
This is evolution.
right? It is
Evolving.
evolution.
It's like,
Yes.
guess what?
And
Carpet rip, motherfucker.
the
we
idea
learn.
is
Yes.
we can't call ourselves anything but a guide. And what is the guide? Just somebody that maybe has something that they can share with you, so then you can become your own best guide.
Yeah, that's
Well, it's
all
like-
it is.
it's like
to
the
find
name-
your way back to yourself.
The name behind it
Yes.
describes what I do as a coach. A coach can
Right.
be, it's like it's same thing as like a healer. It's
Yes,
such a broad
it is the
thing.
same.
It's like
And it's
guiding.
ambiguous.
Yes.
And it can be ever changing. It's fractaled.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the
yeah.
people who are freaking out are the ones that self-identified in it and are in lack and don't believe there's enough. The thing
There's
is,
enough.
as a Blu-ray, and if you don't know what starseed that is, look it up later because I'm not going to be able to explain it to you. But we are the
Write
way
that shit down,
showers.
girl.
The Blu-ray.
I need to talk about this.
The
This is gonna freak me.
Blu-rays came here to say, I have this. Here you go, and now we need you to go ripple out, and then you ripple them out, and they
Okay.
ripple out. She
Oh.
says, here you go, and they ripple out. You say,
yeah.
here you go.
It's
but
like planting the
if
seed.
we were
ready?
in lack, we would be like, no, I hold it here. I'm going to give you little bits, and all along the way, I'm making you think I'm the one doing it for you.
Holy shit.
These people are
Manipulation.
freaking out right now. They're freaking out.
Guys, this is the coolest thing
Wow.
because Tiffany and I, we don't hold back on nothing. We share with all of you that everybody knows.
It's ridiculous.
If whatever I'm gonna go through, or like what vitamin I'm taking, I'm sharing with the world, because it's like, this is helping me. I'm sharing it with you. There's nothing that I would ever hold back. I do not care.
Yeah.
I'm taking this smoothie. You're taking this smoothie, and I'm just like,
whether you like it or not.
exactly. So this is something I need to. Holy, I'm just like, okay.
Yes.
Signs and symbols. Okay.
Great.
Last 2 years. Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
Blue Jay.
Right. Blue Ray.
Oh.
Everywhere I go, everything that's been going on in my life, and that is the one symbol and sign that has not been answered.
Okay, now you just had your come to Jesus moment.
The front dickety door.
Dickety door.
If you guys know, okay, people, I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden, like, I just look over and it's like the Toronto Blue Jays game is on. Then I look over, buddy's walking down the street with his Blue Jays.
Right.
Everywhere I'm going, I walk into Walmart and it's like, bam. And then it's like, I go to my workout where I'm getting personal trained and the freaking Toronto Blue Jays hat is on my bike. I'm like,
when you
what
read
is
Blu-ray, you're gonna be like, yes, I am a Blu-ray. You are.
holy,
Blu-ray
this
as well.
is so cool, you guys.
Well, if that's
it's
a
everything
description
that
of
we're
what
doing.
we're doing, like, that's what we're doing.
It's literally
100%.
going through the shit so that you could then pave the way for everybody else who comes behind you.
Yeah.
That is like
what it is in a very, you know what I mean, crass way of saying it.
I always say it to my dad. I'm like, I broke the karmic cycle. I broke the cycle of the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Over and over. Their family lineage tree freaking circle jerk
Ancestral
kept doing
trauma.
Yeah. my verbiage is like, and you're just like, ancestral.
No, I'm just as fucky as you
It's
are.
good. I love it.
Well, we're also coming from like a very like simple conversation, like, because like I said, like a lot of our listeners, like we know our job is to help. I know some people are like, don't use the word woke, but like,
No,
wake the
I am
fuck
totally
up.
fine with using the word woke for what it truly means. So use whatever words you like, because I also hate liberal leftist shaming of anything. So yeah, you guys gonna keep me quiet on that. So yeah, whatever feels good for you, as long as it is not harming anybody, you use that language and you let it embody that vibration.
Like,
no.
But it describes what
censorship.
The fucking
Really, we're here still. It's like, come on.
I know, but it's true. So we were, you know, that's what it came down to when we got quiet and stepped into like our higher power, and we're like, okay, what are we meant to do? Well, I didn't know what it was, but I knew I couldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I needed to
Can
talk.
we get a
I needed to get it out there.
hallelujah?
No shit.
Hallelujah. You know?
Yeah. And so that did not come with any manual. It came from the heart.
Yes.
And it did not look like
the drum
anything
agrees.
What? And it's, of course, you're
Did
the
not
first thing I
come
thought.
from any manual, came from the heart.
Yeah.
On its own.
Do it again, sis.
The drum speaks.
Again.
Oops,
Again.
I hit it.
I'm gonna do a twerk. This is
It's a drum
epic.
twirkle.
You just put like sparkle on a drum. Oh my god, write it down.
Not just a pretty
Write
face.
it down.
No,
Patent pending. You owe her royalties.
No, you can have it.
No,
yeah, have it. Free.
It's for us.
It's free.
No,
for
it's
everyone.
for us.
Okay, great.
We're gonna.
You have to teach me
Okay,
how to
at
twerk
this
to do
circle,
that.
all of a sudden, the
I'll
time
drum
will
you
come
twerk.
out where the drum twirkle. Hey.
Can you just teach me how to twerk?
Yeah, that's gonna be step one. Can you write down step one?
Okay,
teach them
twirkle.
how to twerk.
Oh my
But that's like sparkle and twerk. Like that's my favorite word now.
Twerkle.
I'm a twerkle.
Oh my god.
Sparkle.
You
You
really are.
You're a twirkle fairy.
Yeah, no, a twerkle fairy. 'cause
She
that's
is a
sparkle.
fairy. I know for
Sparkle.
sure.
Sparkle twerking fairy.
Do you work with the fairies at all? Because you should.
Well,
They're all
I
around
need to.
you. No, you
bring
need to.
on the fairies.
Yeah.
Do you
we'll
see
talk.
like little lights?
Oh, come
little
on.
lights, little lights.
Yeah.
Fairy
Do
baby.
you have an animal at all? Do you have a dog or a cat?
Interesting you're saying this.
Because they'll show you when the fairies are here.
So my grandma and grandpa have a dog.
Okay.
But not around me very often.
Okay. Because they're here for you, so we can talk about.
Yeah,
we need to talk
about
connect
this.
with them.
We
Yeah,
need to talk to them about this.
Oh my god.
Guys,
It's a
let's
whole
go
crazy
into
conversation.
a little bit more of somewhat of the experience when we're entering into your circle.
Okay, like
That would
what
be
do you
really
mean?
nice.
Like tell me, like,
Like, what
the way
are,
that
what do
you guys
guys?
are describing.
Hold
'cause
on, we
could-
haven't even touched.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
mean,
God,
like,
you
what?
guys! We haven't even talked about light language.
oh right.
We haven't even talked about this
Oh.
freaking vagina nutsack.
We haven't. Definitely haven't talked about that. Okay, well,
It's time. Ready?
and go.
Actually, yes, I've been wanting to hear you do that a little bit more. Great. Can you do
I
another?
thought
couple?
she was gonna be in charge of it. That's why I
Oh,
put it in front of her.
Damn.
that was a good one.
You have earbuds in.
Can you explain what this
Yeah.
symbol means?
Okay, so we are very blessed. Like Ray is a creator, so is our father, so is our brother. And one of the things our dad does for us all the time, which is really sweet, is he's a very Merlin-y alchemist in his creations, and he gifted this to us because this is an ancient symbol. Do you remember? Indigenous symbol of sisters. So
You guys.
we like to bring it to our workshops because, you know, Ray and I, one day we could just talk all about our relationship because people want to learn about growth and healing and codependence and ancestral traumas and past lives and how that shows up in this life, and really, because, you know, we talk about past lives all the time, but people don't really get it. We can break it down this lifetime for you, but he made that for us. And then my dad and brother, they make incense holders, so this is one of our I didn't put incense in it, but they made that for us with our Wiccan symbol on there. But yeah, that's what that is.
That's a very powerful thing that it's come from your family.
I know.
That's very close.
Yes.
That's
Very
cool.
It
close.
is.
Yeah.
It's very interconnected. And again,
Yes.
so our family, very few families, it's an anomaly, but I'm sure when you break it down, it still works out to like hundreds of thousands. But barely anybody's families is their soulmates, and our family, it is.
Oh.
So they're all
I
part
totally
of our
believe that.
soul family. Most
So you
people
travel together as
in
a soul
lives,
family.
like in
Holy
multiple
shit.
lives. So we have a real deep, complicated
Whoa.
life.
Mhm.
Current up to current.
Okay.
So one day, if you ever wanted to dive into
We'll
that,
come over.
it's
We're ready to come over.
Okay.
Thank you for
Bring the cameras.
Bring the camera
You
crew.
will not believe how many times. I wish I had this on film
Yeah.
so you could see.
Yeah.
That's why we started. That's why I originally started podcasting, because I would be having these very deep conversations with people, and I'm like, I wish I could fucking record this.
Yes.
And so that's when I started podcasting.
Love
I did a
it.
couple podcasts before we did this one, and that's where that's really.
Love it.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
didn't
I love that you did that.
align like
Uh-huh.
it does now.
Yeah. Because how often do
And
you
she's
want
like, I used to
and
be
what
a
are you gonna
lounge
use it for
singer
once
in
you
multiple
record
times
it?
and places.
You know what,
and
I
now
think
I
I-
came into lounge
for
singing.
you?
I
Yeah.
think I
No,
was.
it's
I
Sure.
think
I
I
love
heard
that.
your
sing,
music
but I
Yeah.
don't.
when I got here. I heard your music. I know you, girl. I know what life I last knew you in.
Yes.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Queen.
Queens. Queens.
Oh my
Queens. Okay, so
Also, she was singing Hallelujah. Did you hear?
yeah,
That's like one of her
That's one of my
favorite songs, the Jeff Buckley
favorite
version.
songs.
Stop.
The Jeff
Karaoke every time.
Stop.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And I just brought it, and I don't sing. Ask Tiffany, do I sing that song? Ever?
Well, no.
Have I ever said that?
Not really.
No, I'm always like, Holy Spirit.
Active.
Yeah. And, or what's the other thing? Or I'm normally like,
Blue.
blue and right? I'm all like the things. Anyway. Okay.
Your early 2000s train is that what you're trying to say? No, I'm just joking. Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
But the first one, you made that up.
Which
Holy
one?
Spirit activate?
No.
So that's from
something.
it's
our
from
reel.
a reel on
Instagram.
Instagram. So
Oh,
Tiffany comes to me and she's like, "Oh, let's do this one." I was like, "That's perfect." And I just walk around Tiffany like, "Holy Spirit, activate!"
I was like Kristen Chenoweth, but then no, I just thought I'd like seen this.
No,
on
we're
something.
fucking pirates, man. We steal ideas all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
"There's no stealing,
artistic.
sharing."
Yes.
Not cultural. Artistic appropriation is allowed.
It
Yes.
is.
But
It
it's
is.
making it
Yeah.
our own. You
Yeah.
take
Yes,
an idea
exactly.
and you create your
No,
own.
but
You
it's
didn't-
already your own because you're just taking it from the ethers. How do
Exactly.
Nothing
I love
belongs
your
to
dreams.
all
anybody.
around the
High five.
world create the same
That was
art,
bad,
create
but-
the same stories because
High
they
five
don't
her.
know
She
each
wants
other.
to high
I
five.
did want to high five her.
She wants to high
Well,
five.
I have to
want high
say,
five.
Can I say one thing for Seth?
yeah.
Wow, you
Guys.
we have so much to say.
So much to
fuck,
say.
I know.
Okay, I say this often.
Great.
We come here into this earth with nothing, and we will leave with nothing. So nothing is ours. My son is not even mine.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
yes,
Good job.
Mama.
Yes. Activate. Yes. Feather.
See, no, it's true. Nothing belongs
Nothing.
to anybody.
Well,
I love
absolutely
that.
I think there
nothing.
is a moral
Minus
code.
Tiffany does.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I
Tiffany
think there
belongs
is
to
a
me.
moral code, especially like with working with social media. It is definitely a different thing when you take on somebody else's practice and claim it as your own. I think that is wrong.
They got it from somewhere though.
I know, but it's still
sticky and tricky.
It
Let's
is
debate.
sticky
Let's
and
go.
tricky.
Let's go right now.
Yeah.
Talk about
so
this.
basically,
Yeah,
one
let's do
one of my social media mentors, and I've seen this with one of my old lash techs, where like the way that she was doing a business, someone took that business module and literally carbon copied it, and it's not. If anything, it's more of a compliment.
Well,
it is
to quote Coco Chanel.
Yeah. What was it?
The greatest form of compliment is somebody. I'm not quoting her specific, but stealing her idea. And the thing is this is where, and I'm gonna let her say, because she went to university for art, right? UBC. Back in the day. And like, here's the whole thing. Because of the way the mind works, the conscious and the subconscious, that lash tech, the original one you're talking about, cannot prove in any way that she didn't carbon copy it without realizing it. Right. Meaning that she went to New York, got her lashes done, it implanted a seed. Then when she was doing her, she's like, I have this great idea. I want this color to... Nothing belongs to anybody.
Totally.
So the divine, this is where Jesus' teachings come in a non-religious way, very importantly, because the whole point is there's enough for everybody. The divine wants to give it all to us, and the thing is, when we go into that space, we're in lack, which then we're in ego, which now we're not connected to source. Okay,
100%.
Yeah.
So if somebody was in 100% resonance with trust and surrender, they would not care if somebody even copied them identically, because what they can't recreate is the individual. Remember, this is how we come full circle. We said to you, your sound is your own sound. And we could define sound as how you appear, how you walk, how you move, how you love, how you cook meals, how you sing, how you drum. People, if they really knew their true power, they wouldn't be afraid of somebody doing all those other 3D things that don't matter, like the color, the sign, how they put the lashes on, because the you part, the her part, cannot be recreated.
Okay,
no,
I have another thing to
definitely.
say. You know, like if you make a peanut butter sandwich, if you can eat bread and peanut butter,
I love how you said that.
and you eat it, and you're like, okay, I like this, but then like
Tiffany
your partner
comes along and
or
makes
your
you a peanut butter
sister or
sandwich.
somebody makes a peanut butter sandwich, and you take a bite, and you're like, why is your peanut butter sandwich so much better than mine? But it's the same bread, the same peanut butter, because we literally infuse our energy particles into whatever we create.
We're shedding
infused,
it.
We're all infused together right now. You can't
Shedding
stop it from happening. It's actually literally science. It's quantum science. So that is why. So the lash tech, the business model, infused her own imprint. The other person who copied it infused their own imprint. One person, maybe the copier, was more successful, not because they copied it from the first person.
Because their energetic imprint was of a different vibration or frequency that matched their soul's resonance and what their divine soul purpose is. So this is why it gets sticky, because we do understand. We're not, this is not black and white, okay?
No.
But we should have said that to begin with.
This is really powerful.
I think
for
it was
everybody.
pretty apparent.
No, this is really true.
Truth of it is.
Yes, the truth. Thank you.
That's
what we're here for.
That if we looked at everything, which we're not, and we understand why, because we're still in 3D, 2D, 4D, but when we're in 5D and higher, we understand.
It doesn't matter.
It's
No,
quantum
100%
science, and it is all energy. And so when we make it energy, then it explains it all away. But we're not there yet. This is when we keep saying.
Well, I was gonna say it comes with this practice with acknowledgement.
It does.
And being aware. But when you're carbon copying in hopes to, I just think that it needs to come with a sense of gratitude and thank you.
But who can quantify or qualify that it doesn't?
Nobody would know. Nobody would
It's
know.
like
reverence.
It does. Yes, exactly.
I was gonna say that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like these cards. You know how many people this card deck landed here from Shiona, and I was like, oh my God, like I was just called to it, and I'm rocking it, and I'm absolutely loving it. And then I had another friend who came over, she was called to it, she went out and got it, and she's going to use it in her practice, and it's like, there is not one feeling of me that I'm like, well, those are mine. Well, they aren't mine. Nothing is mine. Nothing in this whole place is mine. These clothes, nothing. So it's like, it's really helped me, even with my son and with sharing my son and being separated and all these things, to remove myself from the ownership. He's a free soul. He's here. He chose me. He chose his dad. He's going to live this life. I'm going to guide him the best way that I can. And that's it. And that's just like everything else. And it's like Tiffany and I do our podcast. There's 50 billion other people that we're going to cheer on that have a podcast too.
Absolutely.
Because there's somebody for everybody.
And there's enough
for everybody.
There's enough for everybody. And so
I love that because it's made sense of
it can't,
being from a lab.
Because it can't be a carbon copy. This is where they're saying right now.
I love this
it can't be a carbon copy because the human being that is doing it is completely different than the one that did it.
Totally.
So that is the egoic mind of patriarchy and capitalism. And that's not an accident that our societies agree that it's okay to have those beliefs. Patriarchy and capitalism want us to believe that because then we keep ourselves small and powerless.
Right. So how can you tell when someone has the belief that there's just not enough to go around?
Fear.
What is the biggest?
Well,
what is
fear.
the biggest? Yeah. So like.
Do you mean like how could a person tell for themselves?
Sure.
Or how can you tell in another?
Okay, usually for me, if I'm going into lack, I can feel a physical feeling in my body. It's usually in my chest or throat area. But it definitely will also manifest in thinking about the what ifs, you know?
Future living, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
What if this happens? What could go wrong? How about what could go right? What if everything went right?
Right.
We're so conditioned to think
we are
the other
we are
way.
programmed. And this is part of the fall of consciousness is when that programming happened. When we went, remember, we can segue now into what you were talking about, our experience when we were in the sound bath and we talked about the fall of consciousness where we went from the 13, 15, 144 plus 1 subharmonic strand of DNA to the 2-strand DNA. We literally were severed.
It was so cool. She said this in the
we
in the
were
circle.
severed.
So cool, Tiff.
We were severed from our divine mother, father, God, and the earth mother. And in all of that has been this enslavement that we call modern society. Wow.
Well, it's not just modern.
Well, that's why I'm saying quotation. It never was modern.
Yes.
That was sarcasm. That was for my spiritual comedian. Okay, it's that. Couldn't you tell by the air quotes?
Time.
I don't know. I use air quotes all the time,
Me too.
whether they're
I
applicable
love it,
or not.
because you're a hand talker. So am I.
Can I touch this?
Yes.
So what I fucking loved about your circle is the dialogue that you used into sharing the history, not even just the history of, but what's really happening in the dimensions and where it all interludes and comes down to. I love that you educated on that because that is literally everything that Dolores Cannon talks about.
Yes.
We're obsessed.
We're like, yes. Oh, DC.
Oh yeah,
love it.
I'm a huge fan
Good.
of her.
Can I just share
writings and
fast?
books.
You guys might not know this. So there's a quantum healing technique.
Over here.
In
we
Maple
do
Ridge.
know. We do know because we looked
The
several
quantum
times.
hypnotherapist.
Yes,
Marilyn
to
Dyke.
book the appointments, but it was going to be
It's
like
a year later.
No, it was longer than that,
Okay.
and I literally was like, "Good day," like blessing to her, but I was like, "I'm
So I'm
kidding
on the
yourself."
wait list.
Okay.
A friend of mine did it. Just did it.
Okay.
Rocked their socks off
Yeah.
and was just so connected to their HC
Great.
and their higher self and so just like wow,
Great.
nothing fucking matters.
I think
Yes.
it's really good when you're having troubles connecting and you're not certain of where, certain energies are coming from and all that. But I personally fuck yeah, I'd love to.
Great.
Sure.
I want to hear what you have to say because I think
Yeah.
I know.
I think
What the hell? As as everybody knows,
Fuck.
Harmony
I know
and-
her
But I
face,
think
England.
that when you get quiet enough,
Yes, I 100% agree.
you can actually uncover this information
Because
yourself.
what I want to say to
Yes.
you
Yes.
is, and I don't know your friend at all, so this is good because this is unbiased what I'm about to say to you, but this is what they just said. So I won't be surprised for you, don't know your friend, don't know their path, have no idea, if it's just not more of already what you're already on the
I already
tangent
know.
and path
Yeah,
of.
totally.
Because I don't even know your story at all, but you feel like, to me, if you didn't have a Kundalini awakening, you had a semblance of one. Because it feels like, for me, again, second time, everybody, that I'm sitting in her presence, and the first time we barely got to speak because it was 2 hours of a workshop or sound bath. There's a lot coming in to you in a really short, small period of time because they're trying to catch you up to speed real quickly. I've been on this journey, let's call it, as an adult,
100 years.
12, 15 years. Okay? So I love being in her presence because this is everything that I've experienced in 1 second, nanosecond. But I have a feeling that for your friend, even if they know the language, or even if they know terms, or even if they have crystals, it's different for them, and that experience would have blown them wide open because that is what they needed. But you're already blown wide open. I
you're
think
like
you
an
know that.
open vessel.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
thanks,
are,
guys.
which is why, without sharing too much about what you told me in private, you need to be extra careful
I was
about
just
your
gonna say
protection
that.
because it is impossible to tell, especially right now, when it is the dark posing as the light.
And that the fucking truth.
Right?
Oh my God.
I missed that one.
You know the horn?
The reggae horn?
Yes.
No,
Golden.
get it. I was like, no.
Do it again for her!
Yeah,
Do it
just
again.
There.
I'm also a sound effects person. No, I'm kidding.
Part-time.
No, but that's so true because
Yeah.
there is we're in a defined time where we're coming to light with a lot of things. Old traditions are being broken, and there's going to be a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing
Absolutely.
Oh
to
my
keep
gosh.
us small again.
Absolutely, and
Oh, I
they're
have so much
squirming
to share about
because
that.
just so
Yes.
y'all know, the light has already won. Okay, this has already been solidified and anchored in again about 2 months ago.
Okay.
But the
And I
problem,
always like to try to not say when, because that's then doing sides. I always believe in like duality and like
100%.
and like things that are just like altered, but that's just me like.
No,
Yes,
good.
no,
And
that's great clarity.
It
Yeah,
is great
yeah.
clarity. I am a person who will always say the English language is very limiting. Personally, I have found
Yes.
that I'm a communication.
Well, we're
buff.
working
but-
in concepts.
Yes,
So we're trying to
that's
put
exactly
these
it.
concepts into words.
And
Exactly,
in the
yeah.
human form, which
Exactly.
is not easy, so you can understand it, and
especially-
then you're trying to be like, "Bleh."
Because you're channeling, I'm channeling, which is energy, and then we're trying to put it into the energetic communicator called words. So I am going to use those words, but
Yes.
I love that you said that because it is
It's like to
important.
justify for everybody else.
No.
Like, hey guys, it's not about divide and
No.
like that. But
Thank
it's-
you.
Get it.
Thank you. So the light has already won. The point being that those that are not of the light, that were not in physical form, have already been eradicated from this place that we call Earth. However, there are still 3D beings that are here that have the dark forces that they're working with. A lot of them don't even have any idea. Possession is real. This is part of shamanic work. So some people are conscious of it, other people's are not. For some people, it's not even possession. It's what their starseed lineage and past life lineage is.
What do you mean by possession?
Literally, other entities
Entities.
have taken over their body.
Okay.
And
Remember-
it's not like a scary movie called The
No,
Exorcism.
it's not at all.
Go.
It's similar. Like, remember how we've worked with Lisa, and she'll say, hey, like,
You got this little fucking
clear.
blob
Yeah, you gotta like
thing on
clear.
your
Yeah,
back.
you gotta clear
Blobs,
this.
totally.
Yeah.
A
Just
lot
like
of
those-
times they're blobs.
A
and
lot of
weird
the
things
times
like that.
they
Yeah.
are not even. Yes, it's like a energy.
How could you
Yes, that's perfect to describe
describe
energy.
for our listeners how to know if you are connecting with alter energies that are not of our greatest good?
Well, that is a really tricky question.
Okay, I can help answer that, but I want to hear
Okay,
what you guys have to
So I will say, like, off the bat, anything that takes you away from source, which would be connecting, from heart to heart with
Okay.
any being or yourself would be the closest way to put it in black and
So
white
acting
words.
an emotion.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, when sometimes people say things like, I just don't feel myself, or like,
Yeah.
who am I even,
Mhm.
or these
Where
feelings
is this
of,
coming from?
yeah. Or maybe they went through a point in their life where someone they was close to them even said, like, where's the sister I knew, or whatever. This could be an indication, and it's not black and white, but
No.
this could be an indication that there might be not just like a single soul, there could just be like energy garbage.
A leak?
Yeah, just like things that aren't necessarily
Yeah.
directly a possession, could be a possession.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be whatever that is clouding or distorting the pure essence of their oversoul presence, or
Yeah.
like their divine higher self,
Yeah.
from being clear and clean, coming through this form and projecting out into the world and rippling out.
I love the way you describe that. So how would sorry, I know
No,
this just
it's
as a piggyback to that question. How could you describe how that even happens in the first place?
But like, it can be anything, because I can tell you how it happened for me, and then maybe that will help. Okay, so the reason why I unequivocally, even though I already was a believer, because I've been listening for years, it's easy for me to listen, but I experienced a couple of these instances. The first one, we went to Victoria actually to do, was it our shamanic, or were we doing Wiccan stuff? I don't even remember. It doesn't matter, okay? Minutia. We're staying at an old hotel. There's so many old hotels there. And I had a client who is on the island, and so when I go there ever, I would be like, do you want to come do energy work? Do you want a session? She came to the hotel room, and right away something was amiss, because I have Virgo tendencies in me. I like to do with my ritual and spiritual practice, I do everything the same way all the time. I am wake up this way, do this, everything is very ritualistic for me, okay? To the point where another person might think I'm a lunatic, and they might not be wrong. But I always cleanse the space the same way. We get into this hotel room, and she's not there. Right away, it's like there's like a magnet pulling me to cleanse the space in a different way. And now, actually, just talking about the story and visualizing it in my third eye, normally what I would be doing is putting in the protection and blessings in a clockwise, because in Wiccan we work clockwise, anti-clockwise. Clockwise is putting in, anti-clockwise is taking out. Same when you're lefty, righty. What's that saying? Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Same concept. And so I automatically went to removal, which wasn't what I was intending to do. I was intending to put in. So I'm doing removal. Fast forward, my client's there. I can feel a presence is there. My client has a mother who was very close to her, very deep stuff, had recently passed away. And her mother often came through. And so I'm in a trance, I'm doing my Reiki, doing my thing, and I felt this presence. And I was like, oh, this must be her mother. Sure, you can work with us. In they went.
Shit.
I didn't know for about a month, 5.5 entities were attached to me. And how it came down in the end, and this is just one tiny example, there are billions of other ways this happens. I was going to an appointment for, what do you call it? Physio. I was going to a physio appointment. I left work, got to the SkyTrain Olympic Village, and all of a sudden I was like, where's my purse? Never in my life have I ever left my purse somewhere. I was like, this is weird. And as I kept trying to think, I was like, this day has been weird. I thought back. That day, I lost my speech. I am a very good communicator. I come from the planet of communication, blue, throat chakra.
Why do you think I was singing blue?
Okay. Blu-ray also. There you go. I just made that other connection. And my brain all day, I couldn't remember words. I couldn't remember names. I couldn't speak. And I'm a very Pete and repeat. I'm very methodical, ritualistic. I was like, I felt like I was like in molasses, or like blue was around me. Get to the SkyTrain, don't have my purse. Started feeling really weird, called the place. I'm like, I'm going to be late. I'm not late for things, okay? They were like, you know what? You can't come. Long and short is, I had a client that night. I canceled them because I was like, something is wrong. All I knew is the entire way home, I heard, have a bath, get in the bath, have a bath, get in the bath.
Wash it away.
Got in the bath, put on loud crystal bowls, had that. The next day, I had already had a meeting with my mentor at the time. she says to me, you have 5 entities attached to you. Good thing
Perfect.
you had the bath. Good thing you had the bowls. They don't like those sounds. This is what I need you to do.
Wow.
And I was like, that's what that was. It started to feel like my brain became mush. I am a high-firing, high-functional type of person. Right away, I am like a cat. I can laser in and understand things in a very small... That all went away. It was
Wow.
as if I did a drug that like slows down everything. But that was an accumulation of 30 days. That's one example. The other example, so they're gone. It's fine. I protected myself. I did all the things. It's good.
I think that can get away from us when we're not clearing our shit. Like every night.
But the thing is I have a very strict daily practice, clearing every day.
Yeah.
But the issue is that you cannot detach an entity from clearing.
Yes.
You have to tell them to leave.
You
Yes.
have to have
You have to
somebody
clear it
work on
and
you.
command them.
Yeah.
And if you are not already a powerful witch, shaman, healer, because like even I don't clear my own stuff. That's not possible yet on my journey for me.
Okay.
It's like somebody with a higher knowledge of how to remove and separation from what it is. So I can clear somebody else.
Yeah.
But the entities that were trying to stop the ascension at that time were very old. A lot of them were from the war, which was weird because we were there on November 11th, which is Remembrance Day,
What
which
the
is when this
front
happened.
door?
And
Yeah.
she said they like sage. Well, I use sage. They like the smell because it's not old enough that they don't know it. They know that scent. So I was using, after they were cleared, I couldn't use sage for 30 days in anything I did. I had to go older than that. So like
Like what?
myrrh, frankincense, like
Oh.
older.
What if you just used it like an essential oil of frankincense?
Yes.
Okay,
That
great.
absolutely. So, okay, learning, right? As we go, it happened for a reason, so that I know what it feels like, so I can help identify in other people. I don't even know how the other entity got attached to me, but I had a warrior, an indigenous warrior, attached to me, and that took a depossession, and that took over my life in a different way. I was becoming too focused on the fight, justice keeping in the world. And it
makes
was
sense.
not in alignment with the teachings
Makes
and
sense.
principles I taught and followed prior and during. So there kept being this disconnect. There kept being this disconnect of me getting very angry and wanting to protect and fight for all of mankind. Okay, whether it was for this cause, that cause. And so turned out I had this entity attached to me, and that was identified by a shaman friend, actually, who was at the sound bath. And then she was not confident enough to deal with it. So then our shaman that we were doing our Wiccan and shamanic training with, she did the depossession, and Ray witnessed it as it was happening, because we did it in the group. And like, I'm telling you what I felt, and like I spoke for him. My voice changed. It sounded different. It felt different in my throat. When he was leaving, I could feel him leaving my body. Like,
crazy.
no word of
Holy
a lie.
shit, girl.
And I would have never, I always am a believer, because again, spirit vets everything for me. But I would have never believed it in the same way if it didn't happen to me. So that one was not like I'm getting foggy brained. It was like, and she can speak to it as a third party who was watching me be this like fiery, like, I'm fighting, because again, that kept taking me away from source. We didn't come here to fight.
No, it's love.
We came here to love. So anything that's not the unity oneness, consciousness.
Yeah.
And I remember we went out for like
I
pho
know
one
exactly.
night,
I know she was
and she was talking about it, and I was like, but this, why are you so fierce with this fight? Like the intensity, and it was like, it was almost like this idea.
Unlike her. It was like,
Well, she's
unlike
very,
her.
she can be fiery, but it was,
like, I am.
it felt different, and it was like the entity wanted to fight with me to preserve this action-based ferocity of like to the point where she's like, we have to kill these motherfuckers, you know, like, and I'm like sitting there going, whoa, this is not,
I don't even remember saying that. But yes.
that's not how this works. You don't fight fighting with fighting, you know,
No.
like,
No, that's
you
exactly,
can't.
you can't. And
No.
it's all 100%.
We have to take a quick break
great.
because I do not want to stop this
This is
conversation.
a good conversation, yes.
Yes. We're not ready
Yes.
to end this shit.
No.
Do great. Part 2.
Okay, so hang tight, guys.
Part 2. I have a question for you. As we're still rolling on YouTube, are we just starting it up right this second? Should I just keep it rolling, or are we gonna do part 1, part 2?
Let's do part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
just do
guys. We'll see you next week.